Since I'm looking at several different ideas for game prototypes right now for my next game, I thought it'd be cool to do a video on idea brainstorming techniques. These are a couple things that I've used that have helped me get unstuck when I'm looking for ideas, or to just come up with a bunch of random stuff for me to churn through at some point. My name's Kyle, I'm a full-time game dev. I make YouTube videos here 2 times per week. So if you like this kind of stuff, give me a subscribe down below. Don't really focus on quality when you're trying to brainstorm ideas. That doesn't matter right now. You just need quantity. You need to get ideas on paper. You need to get your brain working so that you're unstuck. And also, don't worry about trying to make an idea unique. Most ideas aren't unique. There's actually very few unique ideas in the world at all. Most things have already been thought of by someone somewhere, and we make different versions of that over time, but that's a totally different topic than we're going to talk about today. So let's hop in and look at some ideas. One of the first ones I want to talk about is just doing a timed idea brainstorm. What that means is you set a timer, and during that timer, you don't focus on anything else. All you do is write down whatever idea comes to mind. Your goal with this is to come up with as many ideas as possible. You're not focusing on quality at all. You're just getting ideas down on paper, one after the other, and moving on to the next idea and the next idea and the next idea. When I do this, I'll set a timer for maybe like 5 minutes, sometimes less than 5 minutes. The point is that you want to not give yourself too much time. Because if you give yourself too much time, you're going to overthink it. That's going to make it more difficult for you to come up with the quantity of ideas, because you'll probably zone in and think about one, or you'll overthink it, and that's going to defeat the purpose of the exercise. Another way to get ideas is to draw inspiration from other types of media. As you can tell, I like to read, so I read a lot of all kinds of different books. So that helps me come up with different ideas and different scenarios. Not necessarily exactly what's in the book, but seeing a way that a character behaves in a situation and thinking, oh, that would be an interesting way to do something else with. This kind of idea brainstorming is usually not active, so you're not actively looking for things to pull from the material. At least I don't. It just kind of comes to you as you're reading, or as you're watching TV or watching a movie, or really any other kind of media. And I found that as I'm reading, I'll often just come up with things that are either related or tangentially related. I'll note those down as an idea, and I always note what I was reading when I had that idea, so that I can go back to it and have a little bit of context about where the idea came from. One final place you can go if you're looking for inspiration is to also look at popular media and look at what's trending on social media. If it's trending already, that makes it easier for you to get it in front of people, because social algorithms like to show trending things. So to our last method of brainstorming for this video, third one, thumbnail sketches. Yes, I know, I'm telling you to draw. If you've not drawn before, don't worry. It's not a big deal. The point is not to make a quality drawing. The point is for you to use drawing as a way for you to explore an idea or to write down ideas. So it's kind of like a different way of note-taking. Instead of writing text, you're just drawing a picture. And you really don't have to be very good to do it. I actually like to take my sketchbook around with me most places. I'll keep it in my backpack, and I'll take it to cafes or anywhere else, sometimes on the bus. And I don't focus on quality from that. I'll try to do the sketches really, really fast. So with this kind of size for a book, I'll divide them into 8 thumbnails. They're pretty small so that I can't focus on details in the drawing anyway. I just try to draw whatever comes to my mind. Sometimes that helps me think of different scenarios, and it helps me take that drawing and turn it into an idea later on. And so what I'll do when I do that is go back and look at the thumbnails that I've drawn in other places, and I'll write a short description of that, or a short description of what I was trying to illustrate. Or if I'm drawing an object or like a weapon or something, what kind of world might that exist in? That can be a really good way, especially to explore different scenarios, or to explore different environments, or really just to get my head around a concept. And so those were the 3 ways that I like to use to come up with different ideas. There's a bunch of different ways. That was doing timed brainstorming, looking at other media, drawing inspiration, and going to some sketches and just having some fun and drawing. So at this point, you may have a lot of ideas together and you're not sure what to do with them. There's a lot of different ways to go through that. So because we didn't focus on quality on any of those methods before, we're gonna have this big pile to sort through. That's when you go back and you review your ideas, and that's when you go and put them through a little gauntlet of questions to determine if this is something that you can actually turn into a game, if it's something you can turn into a feature. That's actually quite a long discussion for how to do that. I'll leave an interesting article down in the description here, somewhat old article at this point. Essentially, the concept is using a meat grinder as an analogy for processing a bunch of different stuff, a bunch of different ideas, to try to find ones that are good, or to try to create ones that are good by mashing them together. Hopefully this has been useful for you, and you can find a way to get yourself unstuck and to generate some new ideas. I do videos like this one twice per week on this channel, so give me a subscribe down below, and I will see you next time.